Hello, I'm Brad Bonkowski, Supervisor for Ward 2. Today is October 3rd. It's approximately 4:20. We just finished our Board of Directors meeting today, and this is It's Your City. We started the meeting at 8:30 this morning, and one of the first items that we took care of today was to give some special presentations. First, a proclamation for Poverty Awareness Week for October 13th to 19th to recognize Capital City Circles Initiative, which is a nonprofit organization that works to raise our citizens out of poverty. Then we presented a proclamation recognizing Professor Marilee Schwerzik and Professor Don Carlson, the students of Western Nevada College and the citizens of Carson City that have made Always Lost, a meditation on war, a reality and national treasures for generations to come. It's a work that was put together by the students to make people think about war and the cost of war. And it is, we have a version of this work up at Western Nevada College, and then there's a second version of it that is currently traveling around the country. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Senator Heller and Representative Amadei for coming here today to be part of that presentation. We had a full room of people for that, and part of the presentation was down here in the lobby so that people could see it. It was actually a very moving presentation, and I want to thank everybody that was involved in that. Then we recessed as the Board of Supervisors and adjourned as the Liquor License Board, and we approved 2 liquor licenses, one for KAD Entertainment, which is the Spoke Bar and Grill out on Deer Run Road, and also for Aloha Liquor. The one for Spoke Bar and Grill was a secondary liquor license manager, and for Aloha Liquor, the business sold, so we were approving the new owners for their liquor license. So we welcome those liquor licenses and the additional business that they'll generate here in town. We then reconvened as the Board of Supervisors and went on to address some contracts. First, we approved a list of personal property that has been declared surplus to go to auction so that we can dispose of it. Then we approved a contract to expand our fleet facility so that we can better accommodate our RTC buses to be able to work on them and repair them. We approved a contract to reline and replace some of our sewer lines on Pheasant Drive. Then we moved on to Parks and Recreation, and we had a discussion about whether the city should pursue an acquisition of Horse Creek Ranch or not. And the recommendation was to not pursue the acquisition of the ranch at this time. First, because there's a conservation easement on the property that protects a large portion of the ranch from any future development. Secondly, we don't currently have funds available in open space from question 18 to pursue any other acquisitions of open space at this time. The bond indebtedness that we have for question 18 funds will be paid off next year, and at that time the plan is currently for the additional money that we have when the debt service is gone to be used for management and improvement of our current open space facilities. So at the end of that item, the vote was made to not pursue the acquisition of the Horse Creek Ranch, but it was to continue to have a dialogue with the owner to see if maybe there's another way that we can work something out to keep that property from being developed into the future. We then had an informational report on the results of the Sesquicentennial Fair down at Fuji Park, and then an item that came in front of us to ask that the seed money that the board provided for the fair for this year be forgiven, because the condition was that the seed money was to be paid back. So the action item today was that that money would be forgiven and that we would approve an additional amount of $30,000 to go towards the fair for next year, along with the proceeds of this year's fair, which is a little less than $30,000, and then to put into the budget for 2016 a line item of $90,000 for the 2016 fair, so that we can continue the fair for at least the next 2 years. At the end of that item, the motion that was made and voted on was to not forgive the seed money portion of it, but to approve the additional funding for 2015 and 2016. So we still have to resolve the money that needs to be paid back to the general fund, and we will continue to work on that. We then went to a report on the July and August flood events that happened in the south, north, and east portions of town, and we were given an update on the progress of cleaning those events up, how long it will take going into the future to finish the cleanup of those, the cost, the estimated cost of those events, which is estimated that the first event in July will cost the city about $125,000, and the second event that occurred in August will end up costing the city about $350,000. That money will come out of our insurance reserves, so we have the money to pay for that, but it could affect the public works insurance premiums going forward, but it won't have to be taken out of any general fund or enterprise fund line items. And we then broke for lunch. When we came back from lunch, we considered an appeal of a planning commission decision to approve a special use permit for a multifamily dwelling located on Ann Street between Division in Minnesota. And that item took almost 2 hours, and there was a lot of testimony both for and against that item. But at the end of the day, the board did uphold the Planning Commission decision. The last item that we heard today was the first reading of an ordinance amending the municipal code for business licenses for medical marijuana establishments. And that first reading went well. We made one minor adjustment to the ordinance, read it into the record, and then it was approved. And that was our day. So thank you very much, and I will see you next time.